What does your calendar look like? What does your contact list look like? What does your to-do list look like? Your planner, your inbox, your music playlist, your book collection. In case you haven't noticed, they all look like this. In any case, or maybe you keep all of these inside your computer. In any case, all of our traditional methods of keeping track of information and acquiring information have changed radically in the last 20 years. Technology has influenced our lives and made it more fast-paced and more effective in every single aspect of it. We see new changes constantly. Every day we receive updates for our apps and our smartphones or computers, real-time news, live streams of concerts and events. Everything is on the fly. And yet, there is one aspect of our lives which affects us deeply, which hasn't changed in decades. That is education. Although our way of living has and is constantly changing, the way in which we prepare our youth for the challenges of the future does not change and evolve at the same pace. I believe technology should be used in education to prepare students for the unknown challenges of the future by allowing it to change and displace traditional paradigms of school systems and incorporating the necessary technology in schools. I am a certified EFL teacher, that is a teacher of English as a foreign language, and I have been working in education for over 8 years. As a teacher, I have worked in different schools and institutions, and I have seen firsthand the negative effects traditional education has on students. Why should we let technology be more involved in schools? I will show you that it is absolutely necessary to have technology as the means to learn and not only as an extra tool used to grab students' attention. First of all, students' lives revolve around technological changes as much as anybody else's. A nationally representative survey conducted by Pearson in 2015 found out that 82% of high school students use smartphones regularly for school and personal purposes. Just like adults, young students' lives revolve around the use of smartphones to keep in touch with friends, keep updated on news, and even learn. Despite this being a worldwide trend, there are currently school districts, such as certain districts in Michigan, and even whole countries, for example, France, which have completely banned cell phones from schools. If cell phones help us in so many aspects of our lives, learning included, how can they be banned from schools? Students need them to read, listen, watch, and communicate. It is not their presence which distracts students' attention, but their wrong use. Schools could and should teach students proper cell phone usage. Since technology is at the center of students' lives, it should be allowed to change the subjects they are taught at schools. For example, we have been taught the same subjects at schools for decades. We all know the traditional subjects: math, language arts, geography, biology, chemistry, and so on. What they teach us is okay, but is that all there is to be taught? Are they really preparing us for the future? Many of us are adamant to question the established subjects because we believe someone smarter than us placed them there. But now is the time to let these subjects go and be replaced with new ones. Or we might even consider a more radical change, such as the one taking place in Finland, which made phenomenon-based learning mandatory for all of the schools in 2016. Penny Spiller from the BBC explains that this kind of learning displaces traditional subjects from the school's core curriculum and takes instead a holistic approach to learning, in which all necessary aspects to achieve outcomes are taken into account. The world is more complicated than just the facts that we are taught as subjects. Technologies such as computers and smartphones can be used to help us to teach using this approach. And the last and most important reason why we should let technology change the way students are taught is simply because students can teach themselves. Yes, this might be hard to conceive, but it has been scientifically proven that students can teach themselves without the need of a teacher. Sugata Mitra, a professor of educational technology from England, showed through his project, Hole in the Wall, that if students were given a computer, they can learn almost anything by themselves. By allowing students to interact with specific computer programs, small groups of students learn how to use them and then taught each other in its usage. All they needed was access to a computer and to be left alone. And yet it is impossible for us to conceive education without teachers. Students are much more capable than we think they are. They can learn according to their interest and receiving the right motivation, as long as they have the right tools, such as computers, tablets, smartphones, and of course, internet connection. To conclude, technology has shaped every little aspect of our lives. Change is so rapid that it is hard to imagine what the world will be like 10 years from now. This means that we need to allow technology to shape schools in the inside, and we need to allow technology to change education worldwide. Students need to be taught 21st century skills, which include critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, and communication. And the way to teach them this is to permit communication devices in the classrooms, to change traditional subjects, and to let students teach themselves. This will lead to a new dawn in education, where students have the skills necessary to face the problems of the next century. So now go, take your smartphone and learn something new today.